least for me as an onlooker, it seems that we are in a state of a cyber war. Attacks on critical infrastructure makes me think that cybersecurity is even like a survival strategy for us to move forward safely. And for us, we are very lucky to have partners with us abroad as well who we can learn from. And a representative of one of the strongest countries in the world right now is here from Ukraine, who have created their cyber army. So let's welcome and learn on the stage from the Ukrainian cybersecurity expert, CEO and co-founder of Cyber Unit Technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Yegor Aushev. Welcome to Riga.
Thank you very much. Oops. Hello everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. And also it's a great honor to feel your support on the streets. We see a lot of Ukrainian flags and really appreciate it. Our Ukrainian team mentioned it yesterday, and we see it like now that you support Ukraine, you are with Ukraine, and we say thank you from all Ukrainians to Latvian people. So I'm co-founder one of the leading Ukrainian companies, Cyber Unit Technologies. Also, we have founded a couple of other companies. So before the full-scale invasion, we had just a service company, Cyber Unit Technologies. But after full-scale invasion, we became even stronger. So we created a platform for trainings and ongoing trainings, readiness, cyber ranges. It's called Unit Range. Also, we created Institute of Cyber Warfare Research, where we basically collect different data from technical companies, and this data is very helpful for our government. We provide a lot of support to Ukrainian government as a responsible business. And also, we created a Kyiv Cyber Resilience Forum. Its forum will be annually, so it already happened 2 times, and I'm inviting you to attend the Kyiv Cyber Resilience Forum next year in Kyiv. It's only offline, so everybody should come to Kyiv. Even during the war, we appreciate all participants, and we also appreciate that last year, Ministry of Defense of Latvia became a partner of our Kyiv Cyber Resilience Forum. For us, it was, very extremely important moment where United States and some other partners, they stepped back, and we were thinking, so what we should do? Do we need to cancel this forum or not? And then we got this message, and I want to thank you especially for Yegor Aushev and the Ministry of Defense of Latvia, that they came to us and said, okay, we will help you. It was morally support, political support, and also financial support. So it was extremely important for us, and we will remember it, for the whole of our life, because in these difficult times, it's extremely important to feel this support. And our forum will be next year, 19th, 20th of February, so please welcome to Kyiv. So basically, excuse me. Today my presentation called Blueprints, Ukrainian Blueprint. So what's happening right now in Ukraine? I will show you a couple of digits. Also, I will explain it with some slides. So how we deal with these problems. This is official statistics from our CERT.LV government agency, that we actually every year we get an increasing number of attacks on Ukraine. Every year I am presenting these results, and we still have the increased number of attacks. Even the first part of the 2025, we have 20% increased number of attacks in comparison to for the same period of time in 2024. And what we see actually is the number of this attack increasing, and at the same time, more and more human factor is involved. So, for example, phishing attacks in 2025 increased for 30%. And we see that our enemy, Russians, they use more and more combined attacks. So they just not using just simple phishing, but they combine phishing with disinformation campaign, for example. So, and what we see from our statistic after when people like in panic, so for example, Shahed attack or disinformation campaign, people are in panic, they are tired, and they click phishing more often. So basically, Russians also understand this deviation, this behavior, and so they combine different hybrid attacks on Ukraine. And we learn how to fight against this, because it's not just a simple phishing attacks. Also, what we understand that it's not possible to say like all employees just don't do it, or like don't use it, or something like this. We should to learn, or we should to teach them how to actually act, how to be in touch with the new technologies in order they work with technologies in a proper way. So what we see from our experience, that new attacks became more sophisticated, and the number of attacks is constantly rising. In Q1 2025, attacks grow, and around 90% of all attacks were using artificial intelligence. It was AI-driven attacks. And but also two other like most popular vectors of attack is supply chain compromise and disinformation. So what is interesting, like a couple of months ago, we delivered a big international training in Balkans, and it was 8 countries participating, including CERT and other technical government agencies. And we provided some different challenges, like how attack. So basically, we take Russian attacks and make from challenges from them, and then see how people can react, how people can fight against these attacks. And attacks that were based on AI, technical people could not solve them before the workshops, before the training. So basically, it's something new that it's not so obvious how to solve this problem. So it's something that we have to adapt and have to include in all our business models, that we should teach and learn all the time, because new technologies rising so fast, new technologies arriving all the time. And basically, supply chain compromise, we see that now it's one of the most sufficient attacks, because, for example, in military, in Ukrainian military, you buy a lot of different equipment, software, hardware, or not only military, in financial sector and any other sectors. And you can feel that you cannot provide security for all your suppliers. And quite often suppliers are the one who provide you some viruses and backdoors. And disinformation, of course, disinformation now, like one of the most like also sophisticated attack, because we see how many Russia invest in this disinformation. We'll speak about it a little bit later, but also, so what we should know, what we learn actually from AI, from these AI attacks. We see that sometimes it's forbidden for employees just to use AI or some other approaches that might not really work, because people still using this AI. And if we don't teach them how to use this AI, they use it how they know. And basically, there are a lot of the rise of malicious AI. It's with malicious AI, hackers create phishing emails, mass disinformation, malicious malware, and so basically AI heavy weaponize like all vectors of attack. And our idea is that we just need to provide knowledge to everyone, not just technical people, but to everyone, how to use this new AI. Because if they use this malicious AI, or black or dark GPT or warm GPT, there are a lot of different like bad GPTs and bad AIs that people can use, and the code can be compromised, code can have backdoors and some other vulnerabilities. So it's better not to forbid it, it's our approach, but to explain what is good, what is not good, how to use it. Yeah, of course, disinformation is now a key problem. It's not only for Ukraine, unfortunately. When I'm traveling in Europe, even in the United States, I see a lot of disinformation on TV, on internet, how actually Russians try to propagate their culture and their approach. So, for example, just recently they allocated $1.4 billion to state propaganda. Can you imagine? It's almost $27 million per week to this huge propaganda machine. They work constantly. 27 millions per week, one country that has very good network for propaganda. They can spend it quite effective. And just example, screenshot from YouTube made for me a couple of days ago. So they create a lot of YouTube channels where they propagate, okay, I am American, but it's so nice to visit Russia, it's so good country, and so on, so on. So we should be aware, and we should also make this anti-propaganda. We should explain to everyone what is it, what is false, what is not good, what is true, what is not true. Otherwise, they're still like sometimes they're one step ahead of us. And also what is important, they involve opinion leaders. So we see a lot of opinion leaders, even in Ukraine, like some people like that they are not pro-Russian, but not too pro-Ukrainian. They try to keep on the middle. And so these opinion leaders, basically, they were involved. Some of them even don't know that they're involved in this huge network propaganda machine. So let's be prepared for this, and let's be aware. And also, yeah, so 90, to execute attack humans live bin, and it's still number one. 95% of all attacks belongs to the human factor, to the human error, and all breaches start with human. So basically this processes, technology, and people. So people and processes is something that we don't like to work a lot. Like we, when SMV, it's a technology companies, because usually we only spend more time, more attention to technology part, to like buying equipment, software, and installing it. But human factor, it's not just enough just to make like one training on mute, on Zoom, or whatever. So we need to analyze all data that getting from this training. So how people actually, what is their behavior, or what they actually doing, because this allows to predict where the weakest point in your organization, how the hackers will attack your organization, because they usually try to find the weakest link, the easiest way to get in. It was a good example. You know this in Kyivstar 2000, like 2 years ago, it was 20 million people without internet. It was also human factor was involved in this problem with biggest Ukrainian telecom. What we so basically our approach is to solve this problem fast and continuously. So basically, when we see that there is two largest Russian groups, it's called Smoke Reloader and Da Vinci Group. This hackers group, they focus especially on financial sector. So they target people in the different organization who is responsible for finance. So basically, people who is getting access to the payment system in the companies. So these two groups, they have the focus on this financial sector, and financial sector is number 4 and most attacked now in Ukraine. So basically, our idea is just like we together with National Bank of Ukraine, together with National Security and Defense Council, so coordinator and regulator, we get together Ukrainian banks, and we train a lot of things that a lot of scenarios that happened just last week, we should train it already now. So the idea is just to fast delivery. So basically, everyone should adapt this the speed of this new rising technologies that attacking us. So basically, it's very important to train it like people, not just once per year or something like this. It should be continuous learning process integrated to the business processes. And only when you can like investigate this type of attack from precise Russian group or Chinese group or some other countries, when you can investigate this attack, you can learn accordingly. But it's the vector of the attack, they changing so fast. Also, one more example, so how we act in Ukraine. So basically, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, it's basically all diplomats on the front, on diplomats front line, let's say. They in embassy attacked so much, and they adopted the internal law, so it certifies its employees in cybersecurity as a core mandatory element in operations. So they actually agreed that every employee in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, like every embassy, including ambassadors here in Latvia and other countries, everyone should learn cybersecurity. We are really happy about this because like it's not possible that just, like one department, one technical department in Ministry of Foreign Affairs can provide knowledges and can provide protection to thousands of people in 60 different countries and different embassies and so on. So it's extremely important to people on the ground, like in different countries, they understand it, they adapt how to use new technologies. Because if people don't know, they provide like this AI tools to the work, they invent some new approach how to use the technology, but they don't use it in proper way. So basically, it's extremely important to teach everyone, not technical people, how to actually act. Also, one more example. It's the state operator for non-lethal acquisition. It's called DOT. It's basically Ukrainian innovative and transparent state organization. They innovate by building cyber supply chain security hub. So this organization were created just during the war already, so it's a new organization. They're very transparent. They have more than 6,000 suppliers, contractors. So, and everybody is using their system as a dot chain. It's something new. So they decided that they would like to collect, to provide everyone the knowledge is how to work with them in the correct and proper way in terms of knowledges of cybersecurity. So they mandatory ask everyone to use some tools in order to not to send this backdoor, not to send this viruses and backdoors to them. So they build this in system, and right now it's quite successful. Also, what is important is to popularize overall cybersecurity, like a lot in Ukraine because of the war also, but a lot of people from IT, they shift to cybersecurity. We have also cybersecurity in military officially, like it's with more and more people involved in the cybersecurity activities. And basically, to have this popular, to make this popular, we also created the Federation of Cybersecurity Sport Federation, actually, and National Security Cybersecurity Championships, where we involve new people also from regions. And so, it was just 1 month ago, Championship of Ukraine, or 2 months ago, and we engage in different regions, because previously it was only from the Kyiv, from the capital of Ukraine, we involve people, but now we also local administration were invited to find some people to be involved and so on. So basically it's a cybersecurity movement, but it's also half sport, half IT, but / military. So basically it's we make it more popular. And it's also, together, we always do these activities together with the State Service of Special Communication and Information, National Security Defense Council. These activities was made also with the Ministry of Youth and Sport of Ukraine, and also President of Ukraine came to this first opening ceremony. So it's important to highlight that cybersecurity is something very important. It's important to highlight, like from the first people in the world, or in the country, that they're speaking about cybersecurity, because it's a part of our life. It's not possible to live without it. And it should be. So idea is just not to keep it in our technical bubble, just to explain it to everyone that, okay, it belongs to everyone. Everyone can be a target. So basically, as a short summary, so we can see that attacks on the rise, so it's still rising quite fast, and AI and combined threats are used quite more and more. So 90% of all attacks using AI right now. It's like some of them are very simple, but some of them, this hybrid attacks, is quite complicated. And so the next generation, it's hard to stop threats such as disinformation require immediate and strong action. So we should think together how to fight against this disinformation, because huge machines spending a lot of money like to make this disinformation, and so as for now they're doing it quite well. So we have to act, and we have to think how to fight against this. And threats will not stop. Rise in malicious AI makes attacks on people and faster exploitation of vulnerability easier, so they use it they become more and more strong, actually, and every year they attack more and more. Ukraine, not only Ukraine, other countries. So let's be together and let's find this approach how to actually survive, how to win, and how to fight this war. But what's the next? So we see that the only way to be well protected, actually, it's to know how to attack. It's our approach from Ukraine. It's my personal approach, and I think that every even blue team member should know how to attack and should know how to fight if something happens. So our idea is just an idea, and just idea from myself, but I think that on the level of governments, like between Ukraine and Latvia and other European countries, we can agreed that we can make some kind of operations against occupied territory of Ukraine. Because you can see that this is two Russian groups, Gamaredon and Vermin. They are located actually on the occupied territories of Ukraine. But all world confirm that this territory is Ukrainian territory. So basically we can agree that we can train on our territory, but we can make some kind of trainings together. And if we cannot, we should not put any boots on the ground, even like from NATO soldiers, but we can agree between our governments that we start training of cyber deoccupation of these territories. This is just an idea, but I would like we act more proactive, because like it's actually it's our Ukrainians, so we would like to get it back, at least in cyberspace, and I think it's possible. So as for me, I would like, if somebody is like on the government level, I would like willing to join. Let's have some round table. I can help you with some connection with Ukrainian government, because we really would like to be more proactive, at least on these occupied territories. So from my side, it's everything that I wanted to say. We also have a booth here, and would like I will be there probably all day today and tomorrow. I'm welcoming to visit and continue our conversation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for that valuable presentation. We do have a couple of questions,
sure.
If we may. Are there any observations on which countermeasures are the most effective against current combined attack techniques?
So as I mentioned, so it's they always try different approaches. So one of approaches is hybrid attack, where they combined a couple of different vectors of attack, and basically the person can be prepared for everything. So when it's like disinformation plus phishing plus some DDoS attack, whatever, so people just don't ready for it. And sometimes when they in panic, and in Ukrainian case, it's also a huge attack on drones, on missiles, or whatever. So in this behavior, people really make a lot of mistakes.
You mentioned the usage of AI. A couple of questions about that have came in. For example, how do you determine that attacks are assisted by artificial intelligence?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Thank you. So it's even we investigate all, like, most of the attacks from Russia, and we make from them like some descriptions, so what they exactly to do. But what is important to do also, like, to teach just regular people, like regular employees, not technical, I mean, the people, how to recognize that this is attack. So we, for example, in our trainings, we even ask, like, public relations department. They see that some disinformation, like some AI-driven attack is coming, so they have to take this attack and go, like, to take, like, and to ask technical people, is it correct? They understand well or not? So basically, they should have this connection on the level between technical and not technical, because if it's a gap, it's a problem.
And maybe continuing on this manner from a different perspective, implementation of AI in government and organizations. That's a trend worldwide, but you have most probably looked thoroughly through it to do it in a safe manner. Are there any tips, tricks, know-how, or maybe guidelines which you follow in any case, whatever tool it may be?
You know, before cybersecurity, I was a scientist in physics. My idea is just you cannot stop the development, you cannot stop the technology. You just, technology will be rising, will be adapting, like it will be developing. So we should just we should know how to make it in a safe way. So we need to teach everyone how to use it, because sometimes in Ukraine also we see that some Ukrainian institution, they start using artificial intelligence, but not in the very smart way. So they do not explain something. So we try to bring these knowledges, like, to everyone, but that we should, all technical people should, like, share these knowledges with non-technical, with executive especially, because executive on each company should, on which company, ministry, they should understand why it's not good just to sell some open AI, because it could be data leakages, right? And some other, like, problems. So you should pay attention to this process, and you should adopt a safe usage of AI.
I love that you highlighted the human factor, because that's also a topic that will be addressed in all three stages during the event. So you mentioned in your presentation that 95% of breaches start with the human element. And we have a question of that. How do you reach the elderly in raising their cyber resilience? Are there any maybe campaigns, special approaches to that?
Yeah, it's just continuous learning. So it should be the one of the most important part of the business model should be learning part, like, because it should be something that adapted on every country. So the company who will not adopt cybersecurity as a basic thing in the company just will not be competitive in a couple of years.
All right, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, please do approach Yegor during the coffee breaks. But now a round of applause. And as Latvians say, what's important is that your feet are warm. So a gift of gratitude from us as well, cyber socks that you can wear.
Right now.
Exactly. Thank you. A round of applause to Yegor. Thank you very much for coming to Riga and sharing your knowledge and expertise.